All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to everyone here in person and everyone who is joining us virtually. Welcome to the Student Services Information Workshop. If you are new to this program, we welcome you. It really is a fun event where we share a lot of information that is on campus, online, that is directed towards students. As advisors, it is important for us to know what is available to students and how we can support them and where to give them that resource, right? So if you are not new and you've been here, welcome again. For those that you are not new, it used to be called the speed dating event, so it resembles a quick introduction. I've invited many student services across campus and online to let us know top 3 things that they do for their students and how we can refer them to their department, right? So it's going to be a quick 4 minutes. I only have up to 4 minutes. I will be counting. I will say 3, and then at 4, they need to stop. We will transition to the next speaker. I did share out an agenda and a PowerPoint slideshow with notes if you wanted to take some notes on that too. If you didn't print them out, I added some at the top of the table so you can grab one and create some notes for yourselves. We will have 2 breaks, and at the end, we will have a Q&A, which means please reserve your questions till the end. Presenters were informed that if they're coming in person, that's fine, but they need to come back, whether in person or Zoom. So we will have a panel of the presenters. So if you have any questions, you can go ahead and ask them at that time. I guess we are running a minute early. For those of you that are in person, we have some coffee, tea, water, donuts, and fruit. Housekeeping, our restrooms are on this side. I believe we might have some upstairs, I'm not sure, but I know that we have 2 restrooms at the other side of the north side of ENR 2. All right, well, welcome, good morning. I'm so excited about this event, so much information. I know something new. Every year I learn something, so I'm so excited. Our first presenters are from our friends from Campus Health. Yep, here we go. All right, Carrie. And here's, yes, thank you so much.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I know as an academic advisor, you all are really key to student success, not only in the classroom, but outside as well. And that's where we overlap here at Campus Health. We are here also to help them succeed as a whole student, both in academics and beyond. So I'm glad these slides are printed because I'm going to go over, there's a lot of information. I'm not going to touch on everything, but the slides that you have in there have all the information you need. So my name is Carrie Johnson. I work at Campus Health. I'm the Health Communications Manager. Today, we're going to talk briefly about Campus Health, CAPS, how to get students connected to CAPS. We're going to talk about health insurance and a little bit about all the wellness options we have for students outside of the clinic. So really important for you all to know, when you think health and wellness, just think Campus Health. We can take care of them and get them covered once they're connected with us. Really important as advisors to know, you all are eligible to use Campus Health services as well. And I'll go into that a little bit on the next slide. So we have lots of different medical services. We have mental health support. We have health education options for students. And students do not need health insurance to be seen. We really want to try to remove those barriers for students. And so they don't need health insurance to be seen. We offer virtual visits. We offer in-person visits. And we support main campus students. And I know a lot of you advise some Arizona online students too. We support them as well. The only condition for that is they need to be in the state of Arizona when they receive services from our healthcare center. And there is a $10 daily user fee that is applied. So that's just a little caveat for those folks right there. So we offer tons and tons of health and wellness services for students, faculty, and staff. I want to highlight a couple up here. The first one is our counseling and psych services. You all probably know it as CAPS, mental health support for students. I'm going to go into how to get students connected and how CAPS can also support you to support your students. Another one I want to highlight is our primary care services. I think a lot of students are coming here and they're like, I don't know what to do if I'm sick or get a rash or have pink eye or whatever they might need, we can take care of them. We have an on-campus urgent care, really helpful for you all to know as employees too. You can use it. Students can walk in, make appointments online, and seek services. As you can see, we have tons of services, and the best thing about this, it's all in one spot to make it really, really easy and convenient for students. As employees, you are eligible for all of these services here, except for two, counseling and psych services. We all have access to life and work connections as employees, and then our nutrition service are not available to employees at this time, but everything else up yours for the taking. Oh, that's okay. Oh, that's all good. Is it gonna? I don't think it's clicking. Maybe I'll just click it from here. Let's see. Let's see.
I'll see.
Okay.
Tell me when to go.
Oh yeah, we're good. I don't think it's going. Let's try. There we go. So counseling and psych services, CAPS. We know mental health is a big topic on campus and really prevalent in our students' lives. And so at CAPS, we really want to make it easier for students to get to support, whether that's at CAPS here on campus or someplace else. So things for you all to know as advisors is students can make appointments available online or by phone up to 8 days in advance. There are a lot of different options available at CAPS, but this one, the Call and Consult program, is what I really want to highlight for you all as advisors. If you are working with a student and they're disclosing some stuff to you and you're like, I could use a little advice or guidance on how to help this student, you can call the CAPS number, speak with one of our CAPS providers, and kind of talk through what might be the best way for you to support the student. And a lot of times that's going to be to get them connected to resources. We can also help students get connected outside the clinic to other options for access. We have a great care coordination team. Those are free services, and that information is on our website. Accessing services at Campus Health, like I said, you don't need health insurance to be seen, which is awesome for students. We offer a student discounted rate, different health insurance options to help keep costs low for students, but we also accept a lot of the major kind of insurance players. You can think of some of the more ones that are nationwide, and they're listed up here. If anybody has any question about health insurance, we have a great phone number. I believe it's on, I gave a rack card in the back with the information on our insurance office. They can answer any question for you or for your students. So big thing to know about here, don't need health insurance to be seen, and tons of options available to help keep costs low. So we do a lot of stuff inside the clinic, but we also do a ton of stuff outside the clinic to support students in their health and wellness. Lots of opportunities up here. I know we provide an internship site for a lot of students and a lot of colleges across campus. We offer lots of free events and workshops. If you haven't heard of our health promotion hideaway, that's where that cute little kitten is from. It's in Bear Down Gym, and they have lots of programming, weekly therapy dogs, kittens come every other week, arts and crafts, great places for students to find community and connection in a stress-free and relaxed environment. And our Wellcats Hub. This is a new release from Campus Health, my last slide here. And this is a digital hub for student health and wellness. And so all the stuff we talk about at Campus Health in terms of health topics and how to get care in our approach to health and wellness, all of that is perfectly curated online for students to have access to, for you all to have access to, topics on mental health, relationships, sleep, stress, and more. And the website is wellcats.arizona.edu. So we'll save questions to the end, but important phone numbers up here if you're interested, are 3 locations. And I really encourage you all, if you are on social, give us a follow. You can get your phones out. Follow us at UAZ Campus Health. We post a lot of great information about our services, things happening on campus, ways for students to get involved, and a lot of mental health support for students. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate y'all being here.
Thank you so much. We made it. Yes. Up next, we have our friends from CATS Academics, and I think I saw Jennifer and Kelly online. Hi, Jennifer, you're up next. Let
Good
me just move the
morning.
slides for you as you.
Perfect.
There we go.
Awesome. Thank you. My name is Jennifer Muse. I'm the Senior Associate
Oh, hold
Director
on, we
at CATS
can't hear
Academics.
you.
Oh, that's weird. Can you hear me
Well,
now?
technology was working this morning.
Hello?
Can you say something, Jennifer?
Can you hear me? Kelly,
Just
can you
letting
talk?
just letting the team know I can hear Jennifer
we can
and I
hear
can
you on
also hear the
Zoom.
desk.
It's going all the way up. It's
Weird.
Can you say something online? See if we can get you this time.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Oh man, where is it? Oh,
Try this one.
yeah.
Try again, Jennifer.
Can you hear me now?
Yay! Woo! All right, let me bring up the slides.
Did you get the new one?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Oh, let me send you to the beginning here.
That's okay. That's excellent. So my name is Jennifer Muse. I'm the Senior Associate Director in CATS Academics. And then I'll let Kelly introduce herself and you can click through to kind of the next couple slides.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kelly Amsler. I'm the Associate Director for Strategic Learning Services at CATS Academics. Excited to be here and explain a little bit more about what we do.
So this is our building. We're located just south of McHale. We're open Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Fridays, 8 to 5. And then we're open on Sundays from 12 to 3. And we are the support area to support student athletes. I'm going to go on to the next one.
So this just showcases a variety of our support services. It's also just a neat photo because you can see all the different venues that we have through CATS Academics for our student athletes. We've got the different like baseball, the softball stadium, the tennis courts, the soccer pitch, all those kinds of things. So, but our support overview, so students, when they are entering CATS Academics, they can expect to receive a variety of support services, and they're all individualized based on the student athlete's needs. We conduct assessments when students first arrive, and so we learn better about where they're at with their reading and writing levels. We also understand their academic readiness based on their previous experiences or previous high school or previous college experiences so that we can best support them with the different types of services we have. So something that's really common for a lot of our new students is to meet with a learning specialist or an assistant learning specialist. So we are working one-on-one or two-on-one with students and just really supporting them with their content and their strategies, helping them transition into college. This also means we're working with students with documented learning disabilities or maybe English language learners, again, to better support that transition for them. Another thing that students would experience is a study hall environment. So we have two different types of study hall. We have a monitored study hall, which is kind of your traditional come and check in. And this is a student who is very independent. They just kind of need that space and time to work. And we have our SLS, our Strategic Learning Services Study Hall, which is a small study hall environment designated for student athletes who need a little bit more attention, but they're still like in an independent environment. They just have somebody to talk to if they have any questions or need a little bit of guidance. A couple other things just to touch on, very common for students, right, is tutoring sessions. So we, of course, refer students to our friends at Think Tank because Think Tank has so many options, but we like to make sure we can provide tutoring in-house as well. So we do hire from campus and have student workers here to meet with student athletes just for content support. And again, those can be group sessions or they can be one-on-one or two-on-one. And then counselor check-ins, I want to highlight because that's a little bit of a unique feature with our building. For every student athlete, in addition to their academic advisor on campus, they have an academic counselor in-house with us, and this person is helping monitor their eligibility to make sure that they're on track for their NCAA degree requirements, in addition to ensuring that they're on track for graduation in Arizona requirements. And so our students will have weekly check-ins with their counselor just to make sure that they're on track with all of their courses. If there's any changes that need to be made, that we can make those adjustments and to better support them for the rest of the semester. The other thing that many of you know is student athletes receive priority registration. And so we're helping them get registered that first week that things open because they have very strict and robust practice schedules. And so there's not a lot of wiggle room. And so we obtain those practice and meeting schedules ahead of time so that we know how to best help students schedule their classes for the following semester. So that priority registration has been really helpful and really huge for us. And as everyone here knows, students' schedules are fluid, their progress is fluid, it's up and down. So we can make any changes we need to based on how the student is doing throughout the semester. So we'll set up a schedule for them when they first get started, but it may not look the same week to week or throughout the semester because they may have more or less work one week, or maybe they're struggling and they need to add on a lot more support, or vice versa, they're doing really well. And so we can kind of curtail some of the support. So we really like to make sure we're checking in with our students to ensure that the support they have that week or that month is accurate for what they need. And then we're always getting new students, so we're reevaluating every semester to ensure that we're helping them grow. And the idea is, right, that the closer you get to graduation, the more independent of a learner you are.
And then as you can see, we like to highlight our academic successes. In fact, our women's gymnastics team, their team GPA was the 4th highest in the country. So that was super exciting. So we're
All right. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you so much, Jennifer and Kelly.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Up next, we have our friends from the Dean of Students, Cynthia Miranda and Diana Rascon Angulo. So here it is. We have a flash and we have 4 minutes. Yeah. Okay. And if you want to stand right here in this area. Okay.
Good morning. Thank you for having us. My name is Cynthia Miranda. I am a senior coordinator with the Dean of Students, and I do student assistance.
Morning, everyone. I'm Diana Rascon Angulo. I do the same thing Cynthia does. I'm a senior coordinator at Dean of Students.
We're going to go over a few things. Well, we do a lot, but just a few things. We have 4 minutes. So the Dean of Students, also known as the DOS, we have 3 major things that we do, but we do so many. So one of them is support and advocacy, accountability and growth, and academic integrity. What support and advocacy means is anytime any of our students are in crisis, any kind of crisis, whether they're having conflict with other students, whether they're having conflict with professors, whether they're sick, anything, a death in the family, anything that is a crisis for them, financial, academic, anything, they come to us, which is the care team student assistance. So we provide resources for them. We teach them how to advocate. And if it doesn't work that way, then we advocate for them as well. But our goal is to help them do it for themselves. The other section of the Dean of Students is accountability and growth. So if our students break the code of conduct, they come see us. And unfortunately, sometimes the DOS has this reputation, like no one wants to go to the DOS because they think that's all we have, but it's more than just that. And when we do accountability, what our goal is, it's not to sanction our students, is to let them learn from the experience, let them grow from that experience, and help them, make better choices. The other part of the dean is academic integrity. Simple. If they're referred to us by professors that they've allegedly have, been cheating, or they got caught or not following the rules, then they come to us, we review the situation, and then it's determined whether they're held accountable or not. Also, let me see here. When you go to our webpage, we have, if you look at our webpage, we have a section on the upper right. I guess we should have had a screenshot. And it tells you if you want to write a report and you don't know where it needs to go,
I was just gonna say, if you come in contact with a student or if anybody outreaches you about like a professor saying, I have this student and now they used to behave this way and now they're behaving like something's off and I don't really know what it is, that would be a good time to submit a care report and just report what you're observing, because if it's any behavior that's out of the norm, then something might be going on.
We have in the reports, in the care reports, there's physical, mental health, hospitalizations. You can report that if you know a student has been hospitalized and you don't know the reason, it doesn't matter. And I just want everybody to know, whenever we receive a report, we never, ever tell anyone who reported it. It's just confidential. Our goal is just to make sure that we're taking care of our students. Then if someone's having housing and food insecurities, they can get referred to us. In-house, in our office, we do have food bags in case like urgency, they need it now, we do that. We provide resources, whether on campus or off our campus. And emergency notifications, we do that as well. If students have missed school and they can't, for whatever extreme reason, can't communicate with their professor, then we do a professor notification. Say, when there were the California fires, they had no contact. Somehow someone let us know, and then we communicate with the professor. What we do explain to our students, and it's very, very important, that we will advocate for you. We will send that letter, but professors have full discretion on how they work with the student. Our goal is to, we motivate them to help the student, but at the end, it's the professors. They usually, when they get our notes, they're very not compliant, they're very receptive to helping the student, which is, again, it's our ultimate goal, is to make sure our students are successful.
I do want to add some clarification to that. So students come to us and they ask for a dean's excuse. So a dean's excuse is not the same thing as a professor notification. The dean's excuse is specifically for university-sponsored events like athletes, the band, any sort of event that the U of A is sponsoring. So that's a dean's excuse. The professor notification or emergency notification, that is for when the student, let's say they get the flu or they get COVID and they're absent for 7 days or longer, then we would step in. The student provides us with supporting medical documentation. Yes, I have COVID, I got the flu, and with COVID, we follow the CDC guidelines. And so we get the supporting documentation. And I always tell the student, that your professor should not be asking you to provide them with medical proof or any sort of supporting documentation. That's why we do require it and we do request it. And so if we get that collateral from the student, we are absolutely supportive. And again, like Cynthia mentioned, like it's up to the professor's discretion what they are willing to let the student make up. I always tell the student, communicate with your professors. Absolutely let your academic advisor know, because they're going to be the ones who are going to help you get back on track. If you missed midterms, which happens a lot, if you miss a final, a lab, that's really common. So any sort of situation like that where the student is absent for that period of time, 7 days or longer, then they let us know. Sometimes the student does let the professor know, like, I've been absent, and then the professor will tell them, go ahead and like, I need to hear from the dean of students office. And then we're like, okay, well, you did let your professor know, you went through the steps, and then, yeah, we're going to go ahead and support you. Still provide us the documentation, and we're absolutely happy to support you. Yeah.
And again, when we send out a professor notification or a letter, we do not put the reason. It's confidential, and we tell the student, it's completely up to you if you want to share that information. We do not share that with professors or anyone else. This is our contact information, but one thing I want to mention, every Wednesday from 11 to 1 at our office, we have dog days with the dean, and we have therapy dogs that come in, and our students are welcome to come in from 11 to 1, hang out and just pet our dogs. And it works really well, and it's fun, and we have other things for them there. Sometimes we have snacks, and it's a good atmosphere for them. It's just for them to chill. And again, if any questions or concerns, you can always call our office. We get phone calls about everything. If a student has a hold, they call our office. If something's going on campus and they don't know who to call, they call us, and we just figure it out from there. Okay, are we done? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, up next, we have our friends from International Student Services, Svetlana Povik.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here today. Thank you so much. My name is Svetlana Popovic. I'm one of the advisors at International Student Services, and I will work with you. So thank you so much for working with us. So International Student Services, also known as ISS, our office is located at the Global Center, kind of there underneath. And we offer support for current and international students, about 4,000 from around the world. We review and issue I-20s, DS-19s for undergraduate and graduate students, and we do so much more. I'm going to focus it on enrollment, employment, and travel, but there's so many other things that I'll mention that we do. So students for enrollments must be enrolled in at least 12 units every fall and spring semester. At least 9 units must be in person or hybrid, flex in person for their immigration requirements. Dropping below full-time without ISS authorization is a violation of immigration status. That's going to be important. We always remind them about their immigration status. If students drop without prior authorization, their CVS records could be terminated and they might be required to leave the US. So we always want to make sure that if student has any questions, they join ISS Quick Advising to speak with one of the advisors with us. It is the student's responsibility to check in with the ISS by joining Quick Advising, and I'll mention we have Monday through Friday Quick Advising where students can join to speak with one of the advisors. Okay. Employment. So a lot of students want to work on campus. So on-campus employment of ISS authorization is not required, so they don't need authorization from ours. Off-campus employment, ISS authorization is required, and as international students, we'll need to meet with an ISS advisor. For our students, international students may work up to 20 hours per week during the fall and spring semesters. During winter, spring, summer break, students can work up to 35 hours per week. Okay, and then there's also enrollment requirements, which is also listed on our website for students. For travel, so international students are advised to review ISS website for any immigration-related development. So that's going to be important for international students. Traveling within the U.S., students are recommended to carry the following documents. So they need their valid I-20 for F1 students or DS-2019 for J1 students. A copy of their most recent I-94 arrival departure, I-797 approval notice if they have it, if it's applicable to them, and then a valid passport. If students are traveling outside the U.S., they will need documents listed above, as well as have a valid travel signature to re-enter the U.S. So travel signatures on an I-20 are valid for 1 year from the start date. So we always recommend them reviewing, meeting with an ISS advisor before they travel, making sure they have all the documents and the travel signature. We do have Quick Advising, as I mentioned, it is on our website as well. We have Quick Advising with sponsored students. We have sponsored students. We also have ISS CAPS counseling services as well. So we meet with new students, we meet with current students, and it's Monday through Friday. Monday, Tuesday is from 1:30 till 3:30. On Wednesdays, we don't have Quick Advising, but we do have advisors who do have advising appointments if they need to speak with an advisor. And then Thursday, we have it from 1:30 till 3:30, and Friday from 10 to 12. We do have other resources. Our students are very important, so we do have provide other resources. We have a success guide for them when they arrive. We want to make sure they're successful. So starting as a new international student coming to the US for the first time, they're going to need some things like how to set up a bank account, how to get a phone plan. So we have all those resources for them. We have our ISS events calendar. We have a lot of events throughout the year for our students. We have International Friends Global Ambassador Program. We do have our global ambassadors who are assisting us with our programs. International Student WhatsApp community. So students have any questions, they can join us WhatsApp community. And we have our Culture Shock podcast. So if any of you haven't reviewed that, please watch it. It's really, really great. Okay. And if you have any questions, we do have our wonderful front desk, our phone number, our email, and then the ISS quick advising link. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. All right. Up next, we have our friends from the UA Libraries. Laura Miller.
Yes, hi, I'm on Zoom.
There you go. Okay, I'll move the slides here for you.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
All right, hi everybody. My name is Laura Miller Rivera. I'm a librarian at the main library here, and I really help students in the STEM disciplines with research help. So just a little bit about the UA Libraries. Our acronym is UAL, so you might see that around campus. So we support both main campus and Arizona Online students, as well as all of our faculty and staff. So that includes our advisors. We're here to help you with research as well. So our main goal is to support the research skills development for students, help them develop critical thinking skills, help them navigate our millions of resources that we have at the libraries, and help them with various equipment and technology needs in their courses. So we have so many services. I'll highlight 3 that are most relevant for you when you have students in your advising chair. First up is research assignment help for students. So we are here to help them from the beginning to the end of any assignments they have in courses that they need to find outside sources for. So if they are really struggling to find information, to understand the research process, please send them our way. We offer consultations, and we have course integrated instruction as well. Sometimes we'll be in the classroom helping them out. And third, we have research guides. So every D2 or Brightspace course has a custom research guide integrated under library guide. So if they're struggling with the research process, that's a really great place to direct them, is right within their Brightspace course to help them find information. We also have technology and equipment borrowing. So if a student's laptop breaks or they just don't have one, or maybe they prefer, to read on an iPad or something, they can check out that type of equipment from the library. It sort of functions like an Apple Genius Bar. They can see what equipment we have, reserve it online. We have hundreds of pieces of equipment. It's also a great option if they need like a fancy camera or something high tech, but they just only need it one time. They can check it out from the library. The third service to highlight is our course materials. We facilitate the pay one price program. So we're on the back end getting everything uploaded into those D2L courses. So if students have opted into that program, but they're having a hard time accessing their materials, please reach out to us for help. So we help faculty and instructors get that course materials uploaded, and sometimes things go wrong there, so we like to help facilitate that access for students so they never have to pay for anything. Next slide. Thank you. So here is a list of resources here. Like I said, we have so many services. So our website, you can also find your librarian either for your research or for students. We have librarians assigned to the 4 major disciplines: STEM, social sciences, fine arts and humanity, and health sciences. So we're experts in those areas and can help students with research or help you with any research you might be doing. You can email us, and we have a live chat. So students can just ask us questions from wherever they are in the world, and we can help answer them and get them to the person that they need. So our hours vary, and we are available and open to the public, but also students have special privileges with their CAT card access, after hours. So the building does lock down, so they can have those study spaces when they need them. So we have four locations: the main library and the Weaver Science and Engineering Library, our Health Science Library across Speedway, and finally our special collections. That's where our archives are. So that's just a little bit about the libraries. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. All right. Up next, our friends from the A Center, Major Exploration, Jackie Rendoni.
Good morning, everyone. Real quick slides here. My name is Jackie Rendoni. I'm Senior Associate Director within the A Center, overseeing major exploration advising. And so a little bit of where we provide support for students. I'm going to go through opportunities appointment-wise versus what we have outside of appointments, and also our contact information if you need it. And so to kick it off, I get a lot of questions of when should I refer a student for major exploration appointment? And so really any student questioning a change, or if they're even doubting, we assess our students on our My Majors. We ask what their thoughts are on majors. And actually, surprisingly, it's not career that is the top thought. It's that they feel they need to be 100% certain on their major when they choose, which all of us in the room probably are going like 100%. That's a little high, right? So, but that's our top one, and that's where students are kind of at when they're thinking about their majors. And so we're here to support with that. So you'll notice up here, if you're kind of questioning if they should come in, we've got a lot of lists of reasons to do that. How to refer. We just changed this. I know I talked to a lot of you at UPAC at the last meeting, but we do now have a referral form. And so you can actually fill it out with the student during the appointment. They put their information in, why they're seeking a major exploration appointment, and also times that they're available. And we're taking a little bit of the middle person out and actually scheduling them an appointment based on that. So highly recommend, if you have a student that's expressing any of these things up here, send them our way, and actually we will get them scheduled and in as soon as possible. So a few of you have already used the form, so thank you for giving that a try. And then outside of appointments, we have the Meet Your Major Fair coming up, which I know a lot of you have probably already RSVP'd for that. That's going to be on October 1st. I know for a lot of you that is a change date. The reason being is that's the opening of classes. So some of you might have noticed we are asking for departments to highlight either a gen ed or an intro level class. We're going to highlight that for students so students can start planning ahead for their spring semester. So that's where the change kind of came from in terms of the date. We also offer SERP 197P, that's Explore, Discover, Decide Your Major. This is open to anyone. So if you have a student wanting to do further major exploration, they can actually take this course. A majority of our sections are offered in the spring semester, but we still do have openings this fall for our 7-week second. We also have My Majors. This is just a 15-minute assessment tool that we have online. Students put in their interests, their skills, their values, and that gives them a customized list of 10 U of A majors that they might connect with. We highly recommend students follow up with us after taking it, but certainly it's an option for students if they want something a little bit quick to take a look at as well. And I went really, really quick. I did want to make a plug for pre-professions as well. I know Chester White came and talked to you all at UPAC too. He has information sessions coming here shortly that we're going to start on the pre-professions side. So I wanted to do a little plug for that too. Thank you.
Up next, we have Sharon Aiken-Wisniewski talking a little bit about the mission, vision, and philosophy. Actually, you know what? Sorry. Well, let's go ahead before the break. I'll forward it. I added it in the wrong slot. Close your eyes, everyone. There we go.
Oh, all good. I'm Amanda Glutsky. I am one of the associate registrars in the Office of the Registrar. I know many of you, but if I don't know you, hello. This is our contact information. We share the second floor in admin with financial aid, so that's probably where you know that we live, and our website info as well. Big things. If you've been to any of our open forums, you've probably seen this slide before. So the best way to connect with us is via email. So the Reg Help email goes to our Trellis service desk, which is our preferred method of communication. So you can email on behalf of a student. The student can email with their question directly. It creates a nice little case. You can see everything in Trellis. We love that for all of us. It also allows us to move things between our different teams without having to forward emails to 18 different people to resolve things. We do serve all students, regardless of where they are physically, if they are here in Tucson, if they're up in Phoenix, if they are part of our international micro campuses, graduate, professional, undergraduate, the whole bit. Frequent referral topics. I love that you just mentioned, where did Jackie go? The schedule of classes is going to go live in October, on October 1st, which is like less than a month away, which is bonkers. But we do have a great enrollment page with all resources for students who are thinking about, how do I enroll? How do I use a shopping cart? What does this error mean? All kinds of things. If you have a student who's within a semester or 2 or 3 of graduating, either they think they're going to, or you know they're going to, definitely check out the graduation services page so we can get them in the queue for that. If you have students who are military connected and they're using their GI Bill, they're using active duty tuition assistance, there are other VA benefit chapters as well. You might hear them as VRNE. You might hear the Montgomery Bill. The MCBC team, which is over in the Student Union right next to VETS, which is an amazing resource for our military connected community. They can assist with that. They're also in our Trellis service desk. So if you email anyone, we will move that over and get that connected. And then this time of year, our residency classification for tuition officers, Beth and Mara, are super busy working through those, but they can also be reached either via the website here or via Reg Help. Dates and deadlines. Wow, that really got awkward. Sorry about the text on that. The dates and deadlines calendar, if this is not on your frequently visited list, I highly recommend it, because this is the accurate and also will allow you to toggle based on if the student is doing 7-week 1, 5-week, if they're looking ahead for a pre-session when we get to spring and summer. This will tell you when the W grade happens. It does not always tell you when refunds are. The Bursar has a slightly different refund calendar, so you want to toggle between both of those when supporting students, but dates and deadlines, super important. This also will give you some information about just all of the things. I should have changed about filing for a GRO, because that doesn't happen anymore. I obviously did these slides. No more GRO, yes. Don't tell Alex that I forgot to edit that slide. It'll be fine. Some other resources that I highly recommend that you bookmark, keep them handy for you and for the students that you support. The university catalog, of course, because when we update policies like the repeat policy, we update it in the catalog. You'll want to refer to that both for yourself and to students. I spend a lot of time in the catalog myself. It has all the good degree requirements, all that good stuff. Other policies that are frequently referenced, undergraduate academic eligibility, degree candidacy, full-time student status, which of course there are many nuances to full-time for different populations. I know we've heard from CATS and from ISS as well. So that's a great place to start, and then refer out if a student has a specific need based on their experience. Repeating a course, huzzah. Grade point average, we randomly get a lot of questions toward the end of the term about students who don't know what their GPA is or how it's calculated. It lives there. It's pretty cool. It's math. It could be hard. I don't do math, but luckily UAccess will do most of it for you, which is fantastic. If you have not ever attended one of our open forums, I recommend using this QR code to get on the list. You can also access the information on our website. This fall, we will be doing a look ahead, I think 2 weeks from now. Our October session should be super fun for everyone, because we will be talking about FERPA. Yes, our favorite F word that I can actually say in a presentation. We will be talking about FERPA in this open forum, specifically about FERPA with all of the digital documentation that we keep. When FERPA was written, computers weren't like a thing. So talking about how that translates into things like emails and Trellis and different things should be super fun. Unless you don't like listening to me talk, then don't come, because I will be blabbing away on that. We're also going to be highlighting, these are all the other ones that we've done in the past. So last spring, we also did one about like our micro-credential opportunities. So if you have a really cool non-credit program and you want to badge it so students have something to add to their LinkedIn, there's a recording about the presentation that Erin did last spring. We've done one about students supporting them through degree conferral. We've done a couple on military benefits. So there's lots of good stuff on our website. Click around. And as always, we welcome feedback on our website. If it's not intuitive or super user-friendly, we're always looking for ways to improve that experience as well. And I think that's it.
All right, so we are up to our first break. So let's reconvene at 9:55. Online, join us back in 10 minutes.
Walgreens. We have details about a prescription that's ready for Hope Noriega, and we'd like to check if you'll be picking it up. To opt out of automated pharmacy calls, press 7. If you're Hope or their authorized caregiver, press 1. If not, press 2. Okay, for security, enter your date of birth, including the month, day, and year.
I hope we can hear your call.
I am so sorry about that. How embarrassing.
It's okay, no worries.
Thank you so much for letting me know. I'm glad it happened during the break too.
All right, are we ready? That was a quick 10 minutes. Hope everybody online and in here got a little chance to stretch their legs. All right, so up next we have Sharon Aiken-Wisniewski talking about the mission, vision, and philosophy. In that area right there so they can see in the camera.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning to everybody on Zoom. So everybody can see me. Great. I'm Sharon Aiken-Wisniewski. I'm the Assistant Vice Provost for Academic Advising. And I'm here today just to quickly remind us about something we did partly in this room about 2 years ago, which worked on the mission, the vision, and the philosophy statement. And it really fits nicely with what we're doing here today. So that's what I want to spend like 2 minutes talking about. So here's our mission, and I am not going to read this whole thing to you, but I did pick out some points that fit really nicely with this idea of making sure we understand the services that are available to our students. So as academic advisors of the University of Arizona, and as educators who use a collaborative, proactive approach to provide accurate information that empowers students to navigate the university and define their success. So this whole idea of collaboration and knowing what's going on is really embedded within the mission. You go a little further and you see sharing relevant and timely information. We really want to make sure that we know what is available to students and support students in arriving there. And identifying those resources. As students talk to us, it's really important for us to be able to say, these are some different options we have here on campus, in the college, or in the department. Moving on to the vision statement, as we think ahead to what we want to do as being an academic advisor, we have this strive to maximize human potential. Whenever we listen to a student and they start to share what their experiences, we can start to unpack a little bit about where they are, but where they can go. And this particular program right now, this workshop of being able to understand what's available here, really allows us to engage with that potential. That whole idea of empowering students, but also our colleagues. This is a reciprocal relationship. We all get to know one another. We get to support our students and support each other as we engage in this process in higher education. And then finally on the bottom, this whole idea to be able to stimulate innovative ideas with our students and our colleagues. We are driven by an equity lens. We champion future changes in policies and processes that promote development, growth, and resulting in holistic student success. You all made a big difference last year for your students. You made an amendment to the repeat policy. So your students no longer have this restriction of just 3 courses with the new grade going into the GPA. You all did this. through your efforts. And it's this type of work that's done collaboratively among this group and among our other colleagues that support advising that really make a difference for our students. Here's those value statements, and I've circled some of those statements that really talk about this idea of collaboration and connecting and making sure that our students are supported so that they can arrive at their goals. And finally, where does this take us? Well, it takes us to something that the Academic Advising Assessment Committee, which some people in this room are part of, one of their recommendations for this year is that we take this year and we have a theme, and the theme would be advisors as connectors. And really making sure that we take the information in this particular space from today, as well as all the other spaces, UPAC, the Advisor Masterclass, I have to think about how to say that, and many of our other training and development opportunities, so that at the end of the day, we as academic advisors on this campus are connectors for our students and for our colleagues and for our faculty. And so thanks for a few minutes. Thanks for being here, either in person or via Zoom. And I'm going to turn the time back over to Nicole.
All right, up next, Jenny Nur from SSRI and SOS.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Good morning. I'm Jenny Neer, and I work in student success. And I realized I thought I updated our name, and I did not. So we recently had a name change to just student success. We simplified. We're still doing all the work that we were doing before, though. So within student success, we have Student Success Central, Assessment and Research, CATS Academics, the SALT Center, Think Tank, and the Thrive Center. You're going to hear from a variety of those folks today also. Primarily within the Student Success Central area, we are doing large-scale partnerships and programs to help undergraduate students succeed, stay in classes, retain, and move on to the next year. So a lot of what we are going to do is the data-informed student outreach. So the point-in-time outreach, which we do with a lot of you all in the colleges, our Trellis Progress program, academic eligibility, appeals and interventions, our new student information form. Our new data is out and being sent to colleges this week about student resources. Shockingly, these same things are needed from students this year in terms of academic support, financial aid, and asking for help. And then our enrollment intercept, which we also do in coordination with you all a lot of the time to check in with students at the end of the semester to help them get enrolled. We do research on student success. We have our Student Success Conference, which you're all invited to every February. And then we have a variety of work groups related to retention and student success. And then we also have our communications and outreach, which is largely what I focus on, which is our SOS program, our communications playbook. So you all can see what all communications we send out to all students throughout the year, Wildcat Welcome, and some of our belonging and welcome initiatives. The SOS program. So we answer questions on literally anything at all. And I hope at this point you all have heard about SOS already. We are available 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day except for Christmas Day. So 364 days a year, including closures and weekends. And students can find us on text, email, chat, call, or stop on by our location in the Student Success District. We answer about 7,500 questions a year on a variety of topics. A lot this week has been on students not understanding the parking garages. Or financial aid. So it really runs the gamut. And then mid-year, it's they cannot make friends. Where can they find people on campus? And at the end of the year, understanding their balances, financial aid, and all that kind of stuff. And this is a website that we have created with some advisor resources specifically from Student Success so that you can see things that may be more relevant to you. You can also join our listserv from this link if you would like. And if you're not on our listserv, you would know because you would have gotten an email this morning. So if you did not get the email this morning, you are not on our list. So that's it.
Thank you, Jenny. Thank you. Thank you. Up next, Ssiw from Ssiw.
Up next, we have Ssiw from Ssiw. Ssiw is the Director of Student Success. Ssiw is a student success representative with the ACE Center Overseeing Major Exploration Advising. I really help students
We have our friends from Student Engagement and Career Development, and I see Kylie online.
Hi, everyone. Nice to be with you this morning. I realized I updated the content of this deck, but did not update the date from last year. So apologies for traveling back in time to 2024. But if we go to the next slide, a little overview about student engagement and career development is that we're here to inspire and prepare all graduates to create lives of opportunity aligned with their purpose and values. So in order to do that, we help students develop in-demand employable skills within and beyond the classroom. So often people might think of us as career services, but we have a much wider portfolio in terms of opportunities for students to get engaged on campus and off campus to develop and hone some of those employable skills. Engage in experiences that expand their capacity to lead and solve authentic challenges facing our communities and businesses. So we have, for example, an internship that runs through our office that's really focused on design thinking, where we partner with businesses to solve challenges that they have. That's something students are able to enroll in as a class, but they also get paid. And then design and implement a career plan aligned with personal strengths and values for a lifetime of opportunity and well-being. We really want them to understand that their career is a journey, that it will go through many evolutions, as I'm sure many of us, here today have experienced. So yeah, next slide, please. Just a few services to highlight. We do offer one-on-one career support, connections to jobs, internships, career workshops. We offer a variety of career fairs both in the fall and the spring. Most are held in Bear Down Gym. Some are in the Student Union, particularly our STEM fair. And then we also offer employer events that students can participate in. All of these can be found at Handshake. So I have the website there. I would highly encourage you, if there's one tool to get students connected with through our office, it's Handshake. So hopefully you're promoting that. Life Lab is our in-person, but also via Zoom kind of gateway to our department. So if students are feeling overwhelmed, unsure of where to go in their career journey, they can come to Life Lab. It's located on the second floor of Bear Down Gym. And we have drop-in hours from 12 to 5 every day. And again, also via Zoom, where they can meet with a peer to really get them started and connect them to the right resources. And then lastly, I wanted to point out that every student has access. Anyone who started with us 4 years ago or more recently. So if they're a fifth year senior or later, they wouldn't have access to this. I should add that caveat. But everyone else will have access to the My Wildcat Career Journey via their Cat Cloud. It has semester by semester milestones, linked to supporting resources, and that can be found in their Cat Cloud under plans. And then within that, you may have seen communications from Marcom as well as our office. We have a big rollout of the Big 7, and those are the 7 steps that we think are most critical for a student to obtain a paid internship. And we know that if students can obtain a paid internship, they're likely to be able to obtain a full-time career when they graduate as well. And I think I have one last slide. This is just all of our general contact information. We are located in the Bartlett Academic Success Center on the 3rd floor. So, we look forward to connecting with you, for you to be connectors to your students and our office. And again, my name is Kylie Vanek. I don't even know if I said that to start off with, but feel free to reach out to me as well if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Kylie. Up next, our friends from Study Abroad. I'm like, I saw Mariah come in.
Thank you. Okay, good morning, everybody. Thanks for having me. I'm Mariah Nunes from Study Abroad. I'm the curriculum integration manager for our office, but I always like to introduce myself as a former academic advisor. So my advising hat is always on. So I'm happy to talk to everybody this morning. I'm not sure why this happened. This happened last year too. Do you know if we can maybe resize this? It's okay. I'm going to just go off the top of my head. So I'll just talk with what is study abroad. So we like to define study abroad as a co-curricular credit-bearing international experience. All three of these things are critical to what we do. I think the international part is the most obvious, but we also like to just explain that study abroad is always going to be credit-bearing. There's a ton of international experiences that are maybe service learning, non-credit bearing. These are amazing opportunities for students. Those do not fall under our portfolio though. And of course, it is co-curricular. We don't like to say that it's extracurricular because it really can be embedded into the student's four-year plan. And it's part of their degree. So the credit that they're earning is meaningful towards their degree requirements in some way, or their career development and professional development. So I will also add that on top of credit-bearing classes, of course, we also have a widely growing portfolio of international internships in over 13 countries right now around the world, as well as research programs and many field studies programs. So this is an amazing opportunity for students to not only get international work experience, but really build their international network and meet people in their fields from around the world. I want to also talk about the services that we have and kind of the different points of context for students. I'm going to start on our very end table here with academic advisors. That's you. You're a very, very critical part of the study abroad experience for students as a primary point of contact at all stages. So in almost every case, a student will talk to you about their interest in studying abroad before they come to our office. So your excitement and your ability to connect with us is so critical. So thank you, by the way, because you are a really important part of that puzzle. But I want to tell you a little bit about our peer advisors. This is our first box here. When you have a student who is interested in studying abroad, they want to learn more, they're kind of open to anything, they're not really sure, our peer advisors have drop-in hours every single day in the afternoon in the Global Center. So you can tell them to stop by the Global Center. Someone will always be available to chat with them. But these are students who have recently returned from study abroad. So they have more expertise than anyone on traveling and packing and logistics and what their apartment was like and how they made friends abroad. All of those really kind of fun, exciting questions that students actually may have a lot of anxiety about. We have other peers that can certainly talk to them. Once they've opened an application, the peer advisor also can help them with their program exploration. Students are connected with a study abroad coordinator, and that is our team. They're experts. Our team is well versed in all of our programs and locations, and any requirement required to apply, to travel, etc. So throughout both of these stages, exploratory and participation, students are probably talking to you throughout the whole process. So again, thank you for your excitement about this. This is a huge opportunity for students. They bring a lot of excitement. I like to say that I have the most excited and happiest students in my office at all times because it's such a big adventure for them that they've worked really, really hard to get to that point. You probably know this, but you are also responsible as academic advisors for signing their course applicability to degree worksheet. I also like to just share, we don't check this for accuracy, this is really, academic advising happens in your office. We are not the experts on how you've approved courses to satisfy your students' degrees. We just checked that it was signed by you. So just keep that in mind. Your course applicability to degree worksheet is totally between you and your student, and anything that you've agreed to approve is just something that you'll discuss after that course transfers back. I want to be mindful of time, so I will just scooch on down to my last slide here on how to connect with us. I mentioned we're in the Global Center. This is formerly the Park Student Union. It's been renamed as the Global Center a few years back. We're just down on near Park and University, and we can be reached in tons of ways. When in doubt, study abroad at arizona.edu. Please also know you can reach out to me. I respond to academic advisors on the daily. That's what I love doing. I'm happy to help you all Please don't ever feel overwhelmed by study abroad. Someone is here to help. It can be me, it could be anyone on my team. And also the QR code here. This is for our study abroad and advising teams channel made specifically for academic advisors. I have to say this is not for students. We anytime a student requests to join our channel, we do reach out to them individually, but it is an open channel for you all. If you want to IM me directly, you're welcome to, or you can, of course, use our channel. It's probably myself that will respond or my colleague Jacob, who is our recruiter. And that is all from me. Thank you, everyone.
All right, up next, our friends from the think tank. Caitlin? And here is the mic. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Hello, good morning, everybody. My name is Caitlin Kerrigan-Cruz. I am one of the associate directors in Think Tank, and I'm excited to talk to advisors, my favorite folks on campus. So a little bit about Think Tank, for those of you that don't know. We are a go-to destination for all academic support. We are centralized on campus, and we offer a variety of services that can range from math, writing, science, business, language, and academic skills. 95% of our services are free. So hear me now, we are mostly free. There's a couple of things, but we've worked really hard this last year to make our services more accessible, lower costs, and/or free. So that's pretty exciting. Some of our services include content tutoring, writing support, supplemental instruction, math exam prep, academic coaching, workshops, and then we also have some grad school test prep courses as well. Okay, this is a lot, but I know it's hard to like put it all down. So when people think of think tank, they often think of tutoring. Yes? Shake your heads. That's what you think of. Yes. That's great. And it's important. It is a lot of what we do. It's not all that we do. We have course specific tutoring for math, chemistry, physics, computer science, and actually some select languages. We just added Korean. So that was fun. So we have Korean, we have Spanish, and we have French. And those are actually done by the instructors themselves. They come and they tutor in our spaces. So that's pretty neat. All that's free. That's free drop-in tutoring, and that's in our Bartlett Academic Success Center. We have a map I'll show you in just a sec. We also have private and group tutoring if someone needs a little more intensive support, more regular, they want to pay the extra to get that individualized support. We also have Writing Center. This is in Bear Down Building, and we have all the services are free. There's appointments with tutors. We also have a feedback loop. This is kind of cool. You can upload a paper and get feedback in the margins, and then they'll send it back. They're not doing like, they're not going to like proofread it for you, but they will provide commentary and like how to make your paper better. It also can be anything from like creative writing to a resume, to a paper, to a thesis, whatever. We kind of touch the gamut on all those pieces. Academic coaching, this is one I really want to highlight. Last year in the spring, we actually, it used to be fee-based. We were behind a paywall. This is now free. All students get access to 4 free coaching sessions. And then if students want to pay more after that, they can, but we also have scholarships available, but really trying to get the word out, and I could really use your support on that. We got these printed for Destination Arizona. They're little business cards with a QR code directly to our coaching form. I put them on the tables at the top here. Please take these. Please ask for more of them. Happy to deliver them myself. I will walk them over to you. Excited to get students connected to academic coaching because we really complement advising, I think, pretty well. We also have academic skills workshops, which I think are really helpful. Maybe they don't want to come by themselves. They want to go with a friend. Those are exciting. We have SI, which is like group study groups. The leaders go to class with the students and then they lead sessions outside of the class. And yeah, their retention rate is like 95% of people who actually go. So SI is highly effective. And then last but not least, we have a math exam prep. We revamped this. It's a lot more interactive. These are sessions right before exams for students to prepare and get access to course material, and they get support on the back end. Oh, darn, mine got messed up too. Okay, we served over 10,000 students. That's what this red one is over here last year. So last year, a lot of students. We served a ton of students, roughly 510 students, because 2,000, right? There's my math. We also employ a ton of student workers. We have 250 students that work for us in Think Tank. So if you know someone who needs a job, please send them our way. We would love to have them. And we also want to emphasize that come to Think Tank not only when you are struggling, but also when you want to be successful. We really are trying to normalize and make going to Think Tank part of that college experience here at the U of A. Here's a map of where we are. We're mostly in the Bear Down District, or Student Success District. We're in Bartlett Academic Success Center on the second floor. Can't miss us. Front desk, Think Tank, we're right there. That's where they go for tutoring. And our coaches are up on the third floor, but they always meet people on the second floor. And then we also have Writing Center and a bunch of classrooms in the Bear Down building. We have some satellite locations in Campus Rec as well, and also in McClellan because we have a partnership with Eller. So this is how you can connect with us. Please do. Also, feel free to message me as well. I love advisors. I work with them often. Right now, we're in the height of making sure that our students are taken care of for UNIV 100 and our Prep Math 100. So we're in the thick of it, but really appreciate all that you do. And please feel free to partner and reach out to us. Thanks.
And up next, Thrive Center, we have Jenny again.
I'm back. All right. So the Thrive Center supports students as they navigate through, excel in, and graduate from the University of Arizona. And this Thrive Center will support all students who are trying to navigate the institution, especially those students who may be struggling to navigate the institution. Our first-gen students, we call them our first cats, Pella eligible students, Arizona Assurance recipients, some of our other cohorts like the Sunnyside District cohort, transfer students, and primarily they are going to support main campus undergraduate students, but will support other students if applicable. And they are doing most of this through peer mentoring, community building events, discussion groups. Their financial wellness is a really great opportunity to connect students with folks who can help discuss with them the finances or the financial challenges they may be having. Last week, they were supporting OSFA and having some of those conversations in front of the admin building to make sure students fully understand their financial aid. They will offer one-on-one and individualized professional support. If students even just want to pop in, they'll be able to get paired with a staff member or a peer to talk through challenges that they are having and making a plan to move forward. And then they run the New Start program. They also, despite any maybe federal changes, are still supporting the same students they were supporting previously at the Thrive Center. So the Thrive Center, primarily in working with advisors, can provide mentoring for students that you may work with, particularly those who are first generation transfer or anyone seeking community and connections. They are a resource for students on a variety of topics like financial wellness or students seeking social connection. They created a program this year that is, it's not clubs, it's called the 50. And if students were looking for people with just similar interests like reading or crafting, they could come and meet other people with those interests. And it's not a guided curriculum. It's just a way for them to connect on a social level with students. And they can still sign up for that. And I think they'll kind of going to relaunch it periodically throughout the year to make sure students have those opportunities to connect. And then they will also provide some support for students on academic probation. And you can reach their website from the QR code or thrive.arizona.edu.
Up next, our friends from the Transfer Student Center, Daniel Viramontes.
Thank you. How's everyone doing today? Thank you all for being here. And I just want to say I'm so impressed how we are like on schedule, like on the dot. So my name is Daniel Viramontes. I'm Senior Coordinator for the Transfer Student Center. So the Transfer Student Center is also known as the TSC. Sometimes you'll hear it referred to as a transfer center, but I think the student part is very important in there because that's really, who we focus on at the transfer center. And we serve both current and prospective transfer students. A lot of times prospective transfer students aren't sure, where to start off, where to go. So the transfer center just is, a very natural place because they think to themselves, I want to transfer to the U of A. Right. We do support main campus students primarily, but we will also support online students. And when thinking about this, I tried to narrow it down to what are kind of the three things that we do. And I came up with these three things: transfer student support, transfer community, and a transfer home base on campus. So what does that mean? Transfer student support, we do have drop-in and one-on-one support for transfer students. Can look a few different ways. We have our transfer student guides who are student workers who I'm always trying to hire transfer students for those roles, right? Because they've been through the process of transferring, so they have that kind of personal experience. But they can also schedule meetings or go into drop-ins with professional staff, which would be myself, kind of supporting students navigating the institution, because coming from community college can be very different, where a lot of them are very centralized. You go to one building, get everything done, whereas you all know that at the University of Arizona, it's so large, everything is spread across. So helping them navigate that, but also helping them navigate different departments, policies, procedures, things like that. And of course, advocating for the transfer students and the transfer student experience. Because the way I see it, transferring is really one of the things that makes college accessible for a lot of students. So to me, it's about opening up the college experience and degrees. Second, transfer community. We do this a few different ways, through events. We're going to have an open house next week on the 10th for any students who are interested, just need an excuse to kind of go to the transfer center. We also focus on National Transfer Student Week, which happens every year across the country. This year, it's going to be October 20th through the 24th. So we're going to be having an event every day that week, I think a couple days, even two. And Tau Sigma, which is a nationally recognized honor society. It is a student-run, student-led organization, but we house it at the transfer center, and I act as an advisor to the chapter. But the transfer center also offers support to the chapter, with space and any additional support they need. And last but not least, kind of a home base on campus for transfer students. So we know a lot of our students are commuters. So just kind of trying to make their life easier on campus by providing different resources they might need to make time in between classes easier, fridge, microwave, things like that. I always joke, students come for the coffee, but stay for the community. So we do have a physical space on campus. It's on the 4th floor of the Student Union. And last but not least, we do have a new program that I'm very excited about. Still piloting our transfer peer mentoring. And one of the things that makes this different or unique from other peer mentoring programs on campus is the fact that students can start before they transfer to the U of A. So at their last semester at community college, we're happy to work with them, or that's when we'd like to start working with them. So it's kind of a 2-semester program where they start at their community college. We're calling that transfer prep mentoring. And then they would transfer and ideally stay with the same mentor and kind of do their first semester at the U of A with us as well in transfer adjustment mentoring, since they're kind of adjusting to the U of A. So I think that's my time. So, I don't want to be the reason we get off track. Here's our contact information. Feel free to reach out to us. More information on our website.
Thank you. All right. Up next, our friends from Trellis, Kaylee Hill. I think I did see you online. And Leah Stransky. I'm not sure if she's in here or online. Kaylee?
Leah is not here. She's actually in class, so I will be taking over and leading this. Hello, everyone. My name is Kaylee Hill. I am from the Trellis team, and I am here to tell you about 2 resources that the Trellis team has created for students that are helpful in the students' everyday campus experience. Next slide, please. Cat Cloud and the U of A app have transformed and integrated the student digital experience, making it easy for students to connect with campus resources, staff, stay goal-driven, inform students about classes, get involved in campus activities that students may not have known about otherwise if they didn't check out the Cat Cloud app or website and the app. Now students can receive push notifications by simply enabling them in their app settings. Departments that might want to learn more about how they can use or expand their use of Trellis to reach students can learn more about that at trellis.arizona.edu or reach out to us on our Trellis team space. Next slide, please. Using the Cat Cloud in a browser, students can manage class items, set grade goals, get personalized notifications about dates and deadlines, cat cash and meal plan balances, co-develop career and engagement plans, schedule appointments with advisors like you, and campus support staff. They can also track service requests and browse and register for events, jobs, research opportunities, and other ways to stay engaged on campus. And then using the U of A mobile app, students can manage their class schedule, events, appointments, and room reservations on the go. They can set up their digital CAT card for use for checking into services for events that they found on Cat Cloud and navigate to those activities using the campus and building maps. I think that's all I had to say. But if you guys have any questions, please let us know.
Thank you, Kaylee. All right, and we are up to our last presenter, undergraduate research and scholar development. Kelly?
Thank you. Oh, we get a clicker. Do you want to click? I am Kelly Mariam Castro from the Office of Undergraduate Research and Scholar Development. I've talked to lots of you before. It's always a pleasure to be here. Love working with the advisors. And I have the great pleasure to introduce Melinda Strike, our new program coordinator in our office, who is taking over the undergraduate research ambassador team. So I'm going to hand the mic over to her and let her go.
Good morning, everyone. This is kind of the first time I'm speaking, so I feel like I have frog in my throat. But I'm so happy to be here. Thank you all for inviting us. As she said, my name is Melinda Willett Strike, and I'm the program coordinator for the Office of Undergraduate Research and Scholar Development, but we often go by undergraduate research, so that's the UR you often see. So our top 3 services are related to what you all are sort of similar to like the peer mentors. We have undergraduate research ambassadors. So as an R1 institution, research is happening everywhere, and this can be overwhelming for some of our undergraduate students. So what our experienced and knowledgeable research ambassadors are here to do is help guide the way, and we can point students to resources, programs that best suit them and their needs. This means that we can hold one-on-ones with the students. We are also available in Bear Down on the 3rd floor for drop-in hours. We will also be hosting workshops, and we can also come to you. So if you are interested in some kind of personalized research presentation, we are happy to present those. Let's see, we also have on a weekly update. So what we do is we curate from Handshake, or our undergraduate research ambassadors actually curate from Handshake all the different opportunities available, and we send them out to anyone on our listserv. So I highly recommend that even you sign up for those. It's a great resource. I've used it throughout all of the different roles I've had supporting students. And for more information, our website, ur.arizona.edu, is a great place to start. So we have a research database, but also just many different tips to help students who are looking to get involved in research. We do support Maine and online students, and our office is in Bear Down, room 334 currently, but we would hold drop-in hours typically in that Bear Down space that I mentioned, but like I said, we will also be hosting drop-in hours in the library as well, but we can also conduct those one-on-ones via Zoom. Students can also just reach out to us by email as well. And that's the QR code for the newsletter. Again, that's just an excellent resource for all the different research opportunities. Highly recommend signing up with that. For that. And then that's the QR code there at the bottom to schedule an appointment with a URA, and that is through Handshake. Did I miss anything? I think so. All right, thank you.
Flyers. Actually, one last thing. We do have some trifold flyers. So if you have an office or a space that you think students might drop by and just want to pick one of those up, it lists our resources. So just send us an email or find us here, and we'll take down a note and get some of those flyers to you.
Thanks, Melinda. All right, and we made it on time. 2 minutes to spare. Wow. All right, so we are taking a 10-minute break. When we return, we are going to have our presenters either here in person or online. So this is a time where you have Q&A. So if you had any question when any of these presenters came up and you thought, I wonder if this, or I'm going to follow up with this is the time to ask their questions. So let's resume at, going to be specific, at 10:43. Questions?
Yep, we got one up here.
So I know we didn't have anybody from the SALT Center here today, but I wonder if the representative from Think Tank might talk a little bit about the difference between Think Tank and the SALT Center, and when would I send a student to each of those?
So, hi, Jenny and Caitlin here. The SALT Center is for students who are already admitted to the SALT Center and have applied and been enrolled in the SALT Center. So the primary differences between the SALT Center and Think Tank is the SALT Center has a very focused group of students they are already working with, while the Think Tank is open to any student on campus. The SALT Center provides very focused support for students with the learning disabilities or students who learn differently, including psychological and wellness help. They do a variety of testing within the ABLE clinic within SALT Center. And then they have the a smaller caseload in terms of who the students are assigned to work with them as their learning specialists, I believe is what they're calling them now. They're learning specialists, and then they have technology support and a variety of other things. But students do have to apply. It is a fee associated with that program. I believe it's currently about $5,000 a year. There are scholarships available. They are out for this year, so not for this year, possibly for next year. And the application is already open for spring.
Any
Another
other
question?
questions online or in person?
We've got one down here.
Hi, I have a question for the registrar's office. My question is about for students that come in and are interested in establishing in-state residency for that tuition classification. When we're doing class planning, there might not be a simple answer to this question, but is there a max number of credits that they can take if they're trying to establish in-state residency?
That is a great question. I don't believe that enrollment amount counts toward that as much as the student being able to provide the other types of documentation that are listed on the website for being reclassified as a resident. So I know enrollment is a consideration, and I would strongly encourage the student to make an appointment with one of our residency classification officers, maybe, in a couple weeks, once things calm down a little bit, to discuss their unique situation. My concern would be that if they are taking 21 units or 18 units, are they going to be able to work to provide any documentation of how they're establishing domicile in Arizona? So it's really nuanced. So I would highly encourage the student to reach out to Beth and Mara via their email on our website and set up an appointment so that they can talk through that.
Okay, thank you. And then one follow-up question for a different population of student that thinks that there's just a mistake with their residency classification. Is that the best remedy by just emailing Reg Help right now? Or what's the best path for a student that thinks that their classification is wrong at this point?
They should send an email to Reg Help. It'll get put in the queue with the residency team, and they are reviewed in the order in which they are received, like a first in, first out situation.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the unit minimum requirements that international students have. We've all had international students who, whoops, I dropped a class and now it's March and I'm in trouble. Is there any, because I know there's also restrictions on like they have to be in a certain number of in-person or hybrid classes, and it's very complex. And so is there any like restrictions put on them where they cannot drop below 12 units, like without permission, or they cannot drop below, what is it, 9 in-person units? Like, I don't, that's hard to do in U Access, but I know there's a way where we can like literally prevent people from dropping down a certain number of units, but I just feel like every year I have a problem, and sometimes it's like, oh, I dropped that in-person class and I'm still in the 12 units, but some of them aren't in person now. And that's like, yeah. So I guess what's the solution, or what are we, how are we trying to work on that so we can get ahead of those problems? Obviously, like talking to ISS advisors is really helpful ahead of time, but sometimes they're not doing that before making a decision, right?
Yes, that's a great question. So we always, before students even start, they do have the tutorials they do have to complete. We do have our website with this information. So we always try to tell students, what the requirements are for enrollment. We do have sometimes students who, as you mentioned, if they drop a class, we always want to make sure that, if you, before dropping a class, you meet with an ISS advisor and you talk to us if there's another available class that we can enroll you in. If there's another like a 7-week 2 or 7-week 1 course, we'll work with the student. We'll also work with the advisor to just try to make sure the student has enough credits. There's also, if students do need to drop below, there's also a form, but we also work closely with advisors regarding, why the student would need to be enrolled below certain units. So that way we tell the students they'll have to complete a form, but always encourage them to meet with ISS advisor if you have a student in that, in situations. Yes, so we do have alerts in our system. So then the students who are below, who are enrolled below, we have alerts for the systems, and then we communicate with the students that you are dropped below, certain units, you need to be enrolled full-time for immigration. So that's kind of like on our side, we communicate that with students and we let them know, come meet with an advisor, a quick advising, so that way we can assist you in that way. Same with the online credits. If students is enrolled in too many online courses, we see that alert. We have that alert on our side, and then we follow up with the student. We do everything from emailing them, joining quick advising. We have advisor appointments. We call the students sometimes just to make sure that they understand what their requirements are and how we can help them. Yeah, so we do have the alert list, I would say. I don't think we have like a hard because they're able to drop and, switch classes. But again, we have the alerts that's alert system that we go off on, and then we just meet with students. But I think they can't. I think we have a hold also on their accounts that they are not able to. If we see anything they're in loan too many, they have like an alert, a hold on their accounts. That way they're not able to drop any classes below.
So I'm wondering if that's the way to help prevent people from falling below, is to say, hey, these students have a 12-unit minimum restriction. It's really rare. We don't work real well. We have international microcamp students coming to the semester. They did that, so they would not drop below.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll get back. Thank you.
I have a question. Oh, can I ask a super quick question? I have a question for CAPS. Does CAPS provide like long-term ongoing therapy, or is there a certain number of therapy sessions that a student is allowed?
That is a great question. So we did change to more of a short-term model. So we obviously won't stop working with students if they need support. There's not a set number. I think we aim for like 4 appointments a semester with students. And we also have care coordinators that can assist them in finding long-term support services. So I guess the answer is no, we don't provide long-term counseling services. However, we will not cut services with a student if they need support, and we have additional resources to help them find long-term care outside of campus health if that is like specifically what they are desiring.
Follow up for ISS. Is it a specific, a student recently, they thought they were enrolled in too many online courses? Can you be enrolled in too many online courses, or is it just that you need a minimum number of in-person classes?
So the minimum units for in-person is 9.
Any other questions?
Sharon, I got a question for the of Students Office. So I advise students from main campus and also students from China. So they are doing dual degree program. And some of them, they have issues with the Dean of Students host. And because of the cultural differences and also VPN issues, they usually come to me for help. And then I'll reach out to Dean of Students office for like, okay, they have a hold. How can I assist with them, moving forward? Sometimes I might get responses from the office saying that we will need FERPA in order for me to work with the students. So my question is, what can I discuss with your office, and when do you need FERPA in order to have the holes removed? So we have a confusion with our team. We don't know when we need that FERPA. Do we need FERPA from all students?
When you call our office, you can tell us anything you want about the student. We won't tell you anything. So whatever you tell us, we can work with, and I will answer you in general questions. But if the student's there with you, we can get a verbal consent. You put them on speakerphone, like, hey, and I'll ask them, can I have your verbal consent to speak with you if they're not on the phone? If you just have questions like, hey, can you tell me what the hold's on there for? I cannot tell you that. But if we have a FERPA, then yes, I could do that. But we need a FERPA for almost everything. But if you want just general questions, we're happy to answer general questions. And if a hold is on their account, the only way we can take a hold off is we put it on there. Because if you look on their account, sometimes the hold is bursar, sometimes it's financial aid. So we can only deal with the ones we put on there.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, they do have Dean of Students host, and it's placed by your office. Because of the time differences as well. It's hard to have them to be on the phone with me to communicate with you guys. And so my question is, do you really need to have FERPA consent forms for all the students that we service? And that's a really huge population. So like.
We do, we really do. What do you mean? Right.
Can they just send me an email and say, hey, I can send you to to communicate with your office on behalf of them?
If I have it in writing, I would, because you're within our campus. What do you
Yeah.
think? Is there? Give us your contact information and I'll
Yeah.
send you an email. But again, our goal is to help the students. But if the student sends me an email, hey, this is what I need. Can you let my advisor know? Oh yeah, I'll do that. But we have to, and I know they're online. I know it's different time zones. I know it's a lot of things that are more challenging, and we don't want to be difficult, but we just have to make sure that we're in compliance with FERPA.
Okay.
I do want to add a little bit to that. The times where we are able to be more flexible is if if the student is in crisis. So that gives us a little bit of flexibility. So if you have like a concern for a student that's actively suicidal, if they're self-harming or showing signs of homicidal tendencies, that gives us more flexibility and we can have more open communication.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
that kind of, the FERPA kind of goes out the window a little bit.
Yeah. So maybe moving forward, it'll be easier for us to just send you all the forms, like hundreds of forms
Yes.
per semester.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
And that's valid for like their whole academic journey with us, right? So like form four.
The student gets
Yeah.
to decide the time frame. So they can do
Okay.
like, it can be like a one-time thing. Like, I only want you to communicate with this
Yeah.
person for this specific thing for just this one time, or it can be for 2 years. So the student gets to
Okay.
decide that. And they can also retract it at any time.
Oh, can
So
you
once it's
send our
retracted,
whole
it's like-
team to work for them?
Sorry, what was
Can
that?
can you consent our whole like department to work on behalf
Yeah.
of them or
Yep.
okay.
Yep. And it can go both ways too. Like, I can get consent for this department and it can go both ways. So yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Can I just clear? Sorry, just back on the ISS side for the enrollment. So for the undergraduate, so they must be enrolled in at least 12 units in every fall and spring. At least 9 units must be in person, and then they do have a minimum unit restriction. UXs will prevent them from dropping below the 12 units.
Any other questions online? All right, I think we have concluded the workshop. Quickly, I wanted to say thank you to everyone, all our presenters, everybody who attended in person and online. I believe this presentation workshop is essential, not only for academic advisors, but for everybody to understand what we all do in our respective spaces. I'm going to follow up with an evaluation. I want to make this better next year. So any feedback, good, bad, and the ugly, send it my way, and I will try to make it better for next year. Also, shameless plugs. The ARC, the Advisor Resource Center, has 2 advisor master classes in September 18th. We will have our friends at the Office of the Registrar do course repeat policy. So if you need to listen to that a little bit more, stop by. More information to come on the UPAC listserv. And September 25th, we have Building a Culture of Scholarship, advising students forward toward nationally competitive awards. So that is another one that's coming up. Stay tuned. And again, from the Advisor Resource Center, thank you for stopping by.